What is good, guys? It's your boy Drip Sports Talk, aka Drip Guy Gaming, back with another video. And yes, I'm probably a day or two late, but it's all good. The first round has finally concluded. The second round did start yesterday, but it's all good. Not too late. No surprise there. But so the first round concluded, and unfortunately, my perfect bracket that I wish was true, unfortunately broke. So let's recap and get my picks in for the second round. So the first round, I had the OKC versus the Pelicans. Of course, OKC, I had them winning. Clippers and Mavericks, I did have the Clippers winning in 6. Unfortunately, that not happened. The Mavericks won. I think Clippers are just a fraud team in my opinion. 4 superstars for what reason? The super teams are just not a thing anymore apparently. Just not. Timberwolves and Suns, I had the Timberwolves. I had them in 5, but shit, they swept the Suns, so interesting. And then the Nuggets and Lakers had them in 5 as well, and of course, they won in 5. So not bad for the West, and then for the East, I had obviously the Celtics over the Heat. Is no surprise there. There's no reason anyone should have the Heat over the Celtics unless you're a Heat fan, or you just hate the Celtics. The Cavaliers over the Magic. Interesting there because I did have the Magic winning that series just because the Magic were a dark horse in my opinion, but surprisingly, the Cavaliers are just a better team. Don Mitchell wanted more, so. But hats off to the Magic and Paul McCurry, especially for balling out. They deserve a lot of credit. They will be bright for the future. The Bucks versus the Pacers. Never had the Bucks in this anyway. Never hated them, but the Pacers have more firepower, and Giannis is out the whole series, especially that reason being that's why I don't have. I mean, even with Giannis being in there, I probably still would have had the Pacers because the Pacers always give the Bucks trouble. So they always had to give us the Bucks trouble all season long. So not surprised there. And then the Knicks and 76ers, that was just a bloodbath right there. That was probably the first round series for Knicks and Sixers. That was probably the best round series of the first round out of all brackets. That was just perfect. Everything was crazy. They went back and forth, but unfortunately, the Knicks did win. I hate both franchises to be honest, both fan bases. But what could you do? The Knicks won. I don't really care who won that to be honest. In my opinion, if I had to choose, Sixers. But we'll find out how that goes for the second round. So now here comes my prediction for the semifinals, aka second round of the NBA playoffs. Now that everything's concluded, yes, Timberwolves and Nuggets did conclude their game on Saturday. I did watch that, and yes, the Timberwolves won. But I'll give you guys my feedback in a second. But let's start with the East first. So with the Celtics versus the Cavaliers, either the Cavaliers or the Magic, whatever it was gonna be a competition fight. It was gonna be competition, no surprise there. So either one, I don't see us struggling against the Cavaliers and Magic, but they do give us a problem a little bit. Cavaliers have height, and Magic really don't. They just had really just low-key firepower, but not really. Then again, the Cavaliers didn't really have that much firepower either. They really have is Donovan Mitchell. Well, they have a few, so. But honestly, I see us. Well, I can be biased. I have to remember that I can be biased about this. I see the Celtics winning this in 5, no more than 6 games. I have no disrespect to Cavaliers. They're actually decent. But I don't think they have enough, obviously, to beat us because I just don't see it. Even without Porzingis, I don't think the Celtics should have a problem with beating the Cavaliers. I would think we still would beat them in 5, no more than 6 games. I'd be very shocked if this goes 7. Very shocked. But no more than 6 games. But I do see us beating them in 5 and move on to the conference finals yet again. That's in my opinion. That's if everyone obviously stays healthy and, you know, in Porzingis. I don't really think the Celtics really need him this series, but if he comes back, I won't be mad. But then again, hopefully he gets his rest as much as he can. Anyways, the next series for the Eastern Conference semifinals is the Pacers and Knicks. How I feel about this game, this series, this could go either way. Because both got firepower, especially the Pacers. They got more firepower. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, the Pacers had the most or highest scoring average this past season, with I think averaging of like 120 or 130 something on average. So they got the firepower in Indiana, but they don't have the defense. But the Knicks, they got the firepower low key, but do they have the defense to stop the Pacers? I don't know, because they barely got to stop the 76ers. That series went 6 games, so honestly, this series right here, I don't know why, but I think this series, other than the Timberwolves and Nuggets, might be a bloodbath too. This might actually be going 6, maybe even 7 games, just because both teams don't play defense like that, but both teams have the firepower low-key. So, but if I had to choose what team was going to win this series, I probably would choose the Pacers. No, nothing to do with me hating the Knicks, but I would choose the Pacers just because the Knicks don't have the defense like that, especially for struggling against the 76ers that were handicapped with Joel Embiid, and they barely even got to do anything. The Pacers got the firepower. They could score. The Knicks don't play defense. The Pacers could score. But we had to have some pros and cons here. The pros, the Pacers do have the advantage on scoring wise, the firepower. I feel like more firepower. But the con about this series for the Pacers and the pro for the Knicks is they have home court. If anyone knows, I personally have never been to MSG, but the way it sounds on TV, I've been to TD Garden, and that motherfucking place could go crazy and be loud. So, and just by looking on TV, MSG could be the same way. So honestly, they have home court, so I could see this definitely going 6, maybe even 7 games. I don't see this ending in a sweep or even 5. I don't see it. I'll be shocked if it does. But if I had to choose a team, I would choose the Pacers just because more firepower. The Knicks don't really have that best defense, but we'll find out. Interesting to see how that series goes. But yeah, so I have the Celtics and the Pacers going to the conference finals. We'll find out about that. And then for the West, we got the Mavericks and the OKC. OKC, number 1 team in the West, have home court advantage. They got not an experienced team in the playoffs. They did struggle against the Pelicans every fucking game. Excuse my language. Every game they struggled against the Pelicans. They were low scoring for like a little bit, and then they picked up it every game. So I don't know how I feel about this series. Yes, I do have the OKC winning, in my opinion, not just because it's my second favorite team, but it's just the fact is they got number 1 seed, home court, and I feel like they got more firepower, in my opinion. But you can't count out Luka and Kyrie. Them motherfuckers took out 4 All-Stars. They took out Kawhi, well, 3.5. If you don't count Kawhi, Kawhi's like half of a person. But Paul George, Westbrook, and James Harden, other than Kawhi, that's still a decent amount of scoring, decent amount. Just two people. That's I'm not saying that it's just obviously just Kyrie and Luka and no one else on the team, but I mean that I know everyone was probably shocked that the Clippers really got bounced out in the first round, but who I have in this series, the OKC versus the Mavericks. I won't be surprised if this goes 6, or even 7, but if I had to choose, I probably would choose 6 just because the Mavericks did put up a fight against the Clippers. I don't know if it's because the Clippers are just not good or it's just, I don't know. But the Mavericks, they've been showing defense, but we'll find out how this goes. I think I'm gonna go with OKC for this one. Home court advantage and just the way, like, they're young, they know how to play low key. It's their first playoff experience, so won't be surprised they get bounced out in this round either. But we'll find out. But yeah, I have OKC in 6. But like I said, this can go either way because Mavericks have experience, but OKC doesn't. But yeah, that's who I have against those two. And then the Timberwolves and Nuggets, we all seen, if you guys haven't seen, the Timberwolves did win against the Nuggets. In fact, I was watching like the first like quarter, and then I couldn't watch it till like when I got home. I was out. But I noticed that the Timberwolves came out with a 14 or 16-2 run in the first quarter, like to start off the game within the first half of the quarter. I was like, "Yo, are they really about to just sweep them right now?" And then obviously, as I just watched going through the first quarter, I was like, oh, okay. Well, it makes sense now that they came back. It was just a little run. They got a little burst. But it was like mainly a dogfight throughout the whole thing from what I've seen from the highlights. But Timberwolves, they locked in at the end. They won by, I think, like 10 or 12. So Timberwolves got game 1. That's huge for some team that did not get home court advantage. They did not get home court advantage, so that's interesting. But if I had to choose who's going to win this series, this is easily going 6 or 7. I will be shocked if this goes 5 or a sweep. I would definitely be shocked. I know the Nuggets ain't going to go out like that. If the Timberwolves sweep, they deserve the championship. I'm sorry, because the Nuggets are defending and that's just crazy. But yeah, so Timberwolves versus Nuggets. I have the Timberwolves in this either 6 or 7, I don't know, but I do have Timberwolves winning against the Nuggets. Hard fought victory, but I think Timberwolves better firepower, better defense. Yeah. We'll find out how that goes. But yeah, that's pretty much my picks for the second round. So again, I have the Celtics and the Pacers winning in the second round, going to verse each other in the conference finals. And then for the West, I had the OKC and the Timberwolves going to verse each other in the conference finals. And let's find out who actually moves on. Let's see if my picks for the second round is actually perfect this time. But the first round, I wish it was perfect, but it's all good. We'll see if they're perfect for the second round. Who knows? But yeah, it's been your boy Jib Sports Talk, aka Jib God Gaming. And yeah, see ya in the conference finals. Peace.